Just because you're not old enough to vote doesn't mean you're not old enough to change the world. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 youngest and most influential activists.
Some people call me the girl who was shot by the Taliban, and some, the girl who fought for her rights.
For this list, we're looking at people who became prominent activists at a young age in the 21st century. Number 10. Payal Jangid.
क्योंकि आप कोई भी नहीं चाहेगा कि एक लड़की किसी कारणवश शिक्षा से पीछे रहे.
Payal Jangid was only 11 when she learned that her parents had arranged for her to be married. Jangid's sister was locked into an arranged marriage as well. With support from the Bal Ashram Trust, a center associated with the Save the Childhood movement, Jangid protested the marriage, and her parents ultimately accepted her wishes. Jangid has continued to fight against child marriage while also advocating for education and campaigning to end child labor. She went on to become the president of Bal Panchayat, the children's parliament in her home village of Hinsla in Rajasthan, India.
हमारे गांव में 2012 में बाल पंचायत बना था और 2013 में मैं बाल सरपंच हुई.
Thanks to Jangid's outspoken efforts, child marriage is now outlawed there. At age 17, Jangid became the first Indian to receive the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation's Changemaker Award. Number 9. Marlee Dyess.
In my 5th grade class, I wasn't seeing black girl stories being reflected, and it wasn't something that we were told, but I could see that story in my home and in the books that my parents gave me.
In an age where social media has given everyone a far-reaching voice, change can sometimes be a hashtag away. Few people are as passionate about reading as Marlee Dyess, but she couldn't help but notice that most of the novels in her school curriculum revolved around white boys and their dogs.
I thought it was... Basically, I read that story in school, and as much as I really respected my teacher, and I thought that it was a good idea to continue to have us read and be in discussions, we were only learning about one person's experience.
With the support of her mother, the 6th grader launched the 1,000 Black Girl Books campaign in November 2015. Although Dyess's goal was to collect 1,000 books featuring Black girls, over 9,000 books were donated within just a few months. Dyess isn't just an avid reader, but also an author, publishing her book, Marlee Dyess Gets It Done and So Can You, in 2018. That same year, she became the youngest person on Forbes' 30 Under 30. Number 8. Jazz Jennings.
For this video, I wanted to talk about my upcoming gender confirmation surgery.
Assigned male at birth, Jazz Jennings was diagnosed with gender dysphoria when she was 3. Although her parents initially had her wear gender-neutral outfits in public, it quickly became clear she was unhappy. Jennings' 5th birthday party marked a new beginning for the family, where she came out to her friends as a girl. In 2007, at the age of 6, she was interviewed by Barbara Walters.
Tell me about this picture. Why is the little girl crying?
Because she wants to wear the dress to school.
That same year, the Jennings family founded the Trans Kids Purple Rainbow Foundation by launching the company Purple Rainbow Tales, which raises funds for transgender youth. She continues to inspire and break down barriers on her YouTube channel and her TLC series, I Am Jazz.
We're on the eve of Jazz having her major surgery, and it's really just a moment in time that we're really never going to recapture.
Number 7. Ahed Tamimi.
Ahed Tamimi, a young Palestinian punching and kicking a heavily armed soldier.
Palestinian activist Ahed Tamimi was born in the village of Nebi Salah, a hub for the anti-occupation movement. When she was 16, she received international attention after an Israeli soldier reportedly shot her cousin in the head with a rubber-coated metal bullet, leaving him badly injured. In response, Tamimi approached 2 armed soldiers outside her family home, kicking and slapping them with her mother and another cousin. Footage of the altercation was shared on social media, and Tamimi, her mother, and Noor faced assault charges. Tamimi agreed to an 8-month plea bargain, completing her high school education in prison. Her actions sparked an international debate. Following her release in July 2018, she resolved to fight for human rights by pursuing a law degree.
بشرفني إنه أكون رمز فلسطيني أقدر أساعد شعبي وأوصل القضية الفلسطينية.
Number 6. Bana Alabed.
The world is watching The world doesn't do anything.
Shortly after creating her Twitter account at 7, Bana Alabed had accumulated over 300,000 followers. Alabed and her mother, who manages her account, used Twitter as a platform to share their experiences when Aleppo, Syria was under siege. Alabed's account gained attention worldwide. J.K. Rowling sent her a Harry Potter ebook when Alabed couldn't find a copy. Due to the war, Alabed not only lost her school and her home, but her best friend as well. In December 2016, her family relocated to Turkey. Bana and Fatima have since made the leap from tweeting to writing a book titled Dear World. They've continued to protest the war through televised interviews, and in 2018, Bana was given the Asian Awards Rising Star Award.
This award is for all the children who lived in war.
Number 5. Jamie Margolin.
It's as if there's a ticking time bomb that needs to be stopped, and there's not a very high chance of us stopping it, but we have to stop it, or at least try, because otherwise it's going to blow up in our faces and destroy everything.
At age 15, Jamie Margolin co-founded the 0 Hour, an organization dedicated to youth activism on climate change. She was prompted to do so by the disastrous effects of Hurricane Maria on Puerto Rico and the smoke drifting into Seattle from the Canadian wildfires. Her organization gained traction through the This Is 0 Hour campaign, but Margolin's efforts have stretched far beyond social media. In 2019, she spoke to the U.S. House of Representatives as part of the panel Voices Leading the Next Generation on the Global Climate Crisis.
It's very devastating and scary, but it feels like we've been betrayed.
Margolin has been recognized with the Gloria Barron Prize for Young Heroes and an MTV EMA Generation Change Award. She's also part of a group suing the state of Washington for greenhouse gas emissions.
And it is our responsibility to speak truth to power, call out these systems of oppression, and demand the livable earth that we all deserve.
Number 4. Amariana Kopany, also known as Little Miss Flint.
My name is Mari Kopany. I'm 10 years old. I live in Flint, Michigan, and you may know me as Little Miss Flint.
While most 8-year-olds only write letters to Santa, Amariana Mari Kopany took it upon herself to send a letter to President Barack Obama. The message in question regarded the Flint water crisis, which has been a threat to her hometown's health since 2014. Obama responded, writing, quote, "Letters from kids like you are what make me so optimistic about the future." What's more, the letter prompted him to visit Flint, after which he signed off on $100 million to help repair the city's water system. Kopany, or Little Miss Flint as she's become known, has since partnered with the nonprofit organization Pack Your Back to raise money for school supplies and bottled water. She's also become an advocate for education and representation.
I want to speak up and say, hey, the water's bad. Can someone please fix it? But they never did fix it. So I said, well, gotta listen to me because I'm a kid.
Number 3. The Parkland Students.
We have been fighting. We've been fighting since Columbine, since Sandy Hook, since Pulse.
In February 2018, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland found itself at the center of a tragedy when a gunman killed 17 people. In response to the country's deadliest high school shooting ever, Parkland students formed the committee Never Again MSD, calling for legislative action on gun violence. In March, their efforts led to March for Our Lives, a nationwide demonstration to support gun reform. At the march, survivor Emma Gonzalez delivered a passionate speech that lasted 6 minutes, the length of the shooting.
In a little over 6 minutes, 17 of our friends were taken from us, 15 were injured, and everyone, absolutely everyone, in the Douglas community was forever altered.
Together with survivor David Hogg, her stance on gun reform has made them targets of far-right attacks, with some accusing them of being crisis actors. However, with other Parkland students, they continue to fight for reform. Number 2. Greta Thunberg.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words, and yet I'm one of the lucky ones.
Can one person make a difference? Thunberg's solo protest outside Swedish parliament at the age of 15 has become a global movement. Her inspiration was actually the Parkland students in our number 3 entry. Thunberg's school strike for the climate quickly influenced other students around the world to get involved, sparking what some have called the Greta effect. She's given numerous speeches on the subject, even speaking to US Congress.
This is not political opinions, political views or my opinions. This is the science.
In 2019, Thunberg was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize and became Time's youngest person of the year at age 16. Not everyone agrees with Thunberg's views, most notably President Donald Trump. Regardless, it'll take more than a tweet about her quote-unquote anger management to stop Thunberg in her tracks. Before we unveil our #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
These walls that separate, these different movements and this different work begin to fall away. And we realize that it's not just about activists and politicians and people that work in the UN, but it's just about, entrepreneurs and visionaries and artists and designers, teachers, parents.
I also dream of a day where not a single girl on earth will miss out on an education or a childhood just because she was born with a uterus.
And at the time, I was, in 6th grade, and so I thought, climate change seemed like such a big issue, and that the only reason that people weren't doing anything about it was because they must not have known about it.
I have faith that you, as parents and as humans, make the best decision. Thank you for listening to the voice of all immigrants.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. #1. Malala Yousafzai.
I'm just a committed and even stubborn person who wants to see every child getting quality education.
This Pakistani activist has become a beacon for the rights of women and human rights in general. At 11, Malala Yousafzai began anonymously writing a blog about life under the Taliban for BBC Urdu. Her identity was soon revealed, though, establishing her as an activist for female education and equality. Despite death threats from the Taliban, she continued to speak out. In October 2012, a Taliban gunman shot her as she rode a bus home from an exam. She miraculously survived and has since become a household name globally. There was something of an outcry when Yousafzai didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2013, although she'd become a co-recipient in 2014.
I'm very proud to be the first Pashtun, the first Pakistani, and the youngest person to receive this award.
She remains an inspirational icon, helping to open eyes and minds around the world. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.